Welcome everyone to a brand new entry into the Hyrule Compendium. And they did it. Can't believe they did it. They delayed Breath of the Wild 2 again, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, Twist in the Wind.
Yes. They haven't confirmed the title yet, but our insider information.
That's what it is, yeah.
So spring 2023.
Yeah.
Did you see this
Did
coming?
they say spring?
Yes.
I didn't really... Well, no, not really, because I said this to you already, but years and years and years ago, when we first started doing this series, was when Breath of the Wild came out. And I always remember one of the videos we did was, should Nintendo pull Majora's Mask and use all the same assets like they did with Ocarina of Time or similar assets and make a game, that won't take as long to make?
So it could be beneficial for them to actually knock out multiple Zelda games on this console. I don't think they can just, live off this game for 6 years and next Zelda game coming out 2021.
Yeah.
That seems like so far away.
And then, COVID happened, and I think, okay, I understand now the game's probably going to be delayed. It's probably going to, be just like a normal gap of time that we've experienced between these big console Zelda games. And now it's actually taking longer.
Right.
And so I'm left kind of scratching my head. I'm sort of like, okay, now it's just weird. Like I get the COVID threw a wrench in a lot of things, but I'm sort of like, is the game, it's not done? What's going on here?
Right. And even like when we talk about we're talking about the 3D console Zelda games. The big boys here, where we had 4 years between Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, 5 years between Twilight and Skyward Sword, and just over 5 years between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild. So it's been that 4 to 5 years. And I remember at the time we made that video, we were like, it was like a year of development for Majora's Mask. And it was just a year and a half between releases. So we were thinking when we 2017 Breath of the Wild, 2019 or 2020, the sequel. And I was convinced. I remember if you would have asked me in January of 2020, I think they're going to announce it at E3 and it's going to come out this year. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Right.
And now we're going on. This is going to be the longest development cycle. And you know what? I don't buy it. No. I don't think it's because they don't have time to make the game. I think this is a marketing thing.
Oh.
I really do. So I have a feeling that it's one of two things. One, Breath of the Wild is still doing well. It's still it's the highest selling Zelda game by a crazy long shot at this point. And I think everybody who gets a Switch, and there's still a lot of people just getting Switches, are still buying this game. So Nintendo's from a marketing standpoint, all right, if we put out the sequel to this game, nobody's going out to buy a Switch to play this game.
Yeah.
It's only people that already have the console.
Which is a lot of people, though. So.
But there's still a lot of people who are buying it and playing the original. It's until that trickles away even further. So I think they're maybe we can get one more holiday season out of original Breath of the Wild.
I see.
So I think they're there's no need to release this game. So let's just wait until, we've sucked everything out of Breath of the Wild until put the sequel out. I don't know. Other thing of my thought is new hardware.
Yeah. I
mean, at this point, when this comes out, it will be 6 years. And, the elusive Switch Pro, Switch 2.0, Switch, whatever.
Right. Even if they don't do how other consoles have had the mid-tier thing, it's long enough that they might be just gearing up for, the next iteration of it. And since the Switch is such a hit, I don't see why they would even significantly change it that much. Just literally, it's not an upgraded Switch, it's the next thing, which happens to be an upgraded Switch.
Well, I kind of think that they're never going to move beyond the Switch a little bit, where it's any subsequent new hardware they release is just going to be new versions of the Switch forever. I don't know if there's going to be this is the end of the Switch and the start of a new thing. So, but whenever in the past, whenever they've launched new hardware with Zelda, it's been a massive hit. Think the Wii and think the Switch. So it's why put this game out unless we have new hardware? Because then it'll sell itself.
Yeah.
Because then there's the millions of people that are going to go out just to get this game, kind of thing. But it if anything, it'll still be available on the Switch, but it'll be one of those dual release. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
This is all speculation on my part because I can't think why it's taking this long to make.
Well, personally, what's your feeling on it? Like, not from a like business standpoint, but how does it affect you, the fan of Zelda?
It just feels like upsetting that this is the new standard, I think.
Yeah.
Because like when I think of releases since Skyward Sword, really, when you think of the last almost dozen years at this point, in terms of new games, we've had Skyward Sword, A Link Between Worlds, Breath of the Wild, and that's it. 3 games in the last 11 years. Now we've had remakes of Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D and Twilight, all these HDs, and we've had the new Link's Awakening, and then we've had Hyrule Warriors and Cadence and all these other games. But it's like new mainline Zelda games, we've had 3 since 2011. So in the last 10 years, we've had 2. Just A Link Between Worlds. And when you think of that, like some 2012 to 2021, we've had 2 new games. But when you think of the previous 10 years, from 2002 to 2011, we had like 8.
Right.
And it makes me wonder, like, is this just the new, like, status quo? And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of miss the days of more frequent releases, I guess.
You still get pretty excited about a new Zelda game.
Yeah. And it's like, it seems crazy that it's going to be 6 years between games. That just seems like an eternity. I don't know. Like
because for me, more personally, this may make me seem like less of a Zelda fan, even though this game's going to come out. I'm going to get excited about it probably. I'll probably love it too. But when it's like it's delayed, it's like, oh, that's a bummer. But I'm sort of like, okay, there's like a million video games I've never played. And I'm gaming. I'm doing other stuff. I think it's silly to me, or like it's strange that it takes so long, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'll just go back to, I don't know, whatever other game I was playing, you know?
And I wonder if they like set the bar so high with Breath of the Wild where they're like internally like worried or concerned, where like maybe they can't just do a Majora's Mask, or they just release kind of like it's like, do they feel they have to?
Maybe that's the DLC was sort of that, I guess, because
when
Majora's Mask, there wasn't DLC when Majora's Mask came out, you know, and so maybe that's more comparable, I guess.
Do you think they look around at the industry a little bit with like games that Breath of the Wild kind of inspired, and how to, like, a lot of games they've like built off that formula, or like other open world games, and they're like, we can't just be one of these, and they're like,
yeah, I think so. 'Cause I think that was kind of Breath of the Wild's whole deal. And now we are starting to see the inspired by Breath of the Wilds.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know if that caused the delay. Do you think there was anything like not like how the Metroid Prime situation was, but where they were like,
where they started over almost?
Not started over, but maybe we do need to like rethink some element of the game, and that caused like a major delay or something, you know?
You know what? I think that's a strong possibility, where they're like, this is just not good enough kind of thing. Where like, because you think of like Breath of the Wild now, like with what's come out in the last 5 years, I don't think they could get away with releasing something like that again.
Okay.
Where it's like, when you think of the world, it's like, okay, what are we doing? It's like they filled the world with 10 enemies, which there's a bazillion of them, and 900 Koroks and 120 shrines, and that's 90% of the game. Like, and it's like there's not enough in there. Like, I don't know. So it's like they do have to, I don't know, push forward a little bit with something new.
At the same time, just in terms of what has come since, there's been a few games that have kind of gotten talked about. Like, actually, there's a lot of games that people have talked about in the same breath, in that like this is clearly inspired by it, but they don't attain that level of prestige.
Right.
But there are a few that I feel like have upped the game. But I actually don't think like the market is crowded with like games that people have felt like this brings that to a whole new level, you know? So I still think like I still even think the bar is kind of lower for them to jump. Like, I don't think it's that high, though I do agree with you that it can't just be like, here's a bunch of little shrines and stuff. There maybe has to be a little bit more different, especially like the enemies and stuff like that. There's definitely got to be more to it than that.
Well, like from the trailer, we've seen like what 3 different mini trailers at this point,
tiny trailers. Which there was a little bit more footage in this new thing.
Yeah, we saw like a broken Master Sword, but it's like from what we've seen, I think they still use stasis and they still use there was a giant moblin in I think one of the early trailers or something. It looks like some new ability and some weird like portal kind of ability thing. The game still looks. It's Breath of the Wild. It looks like it. It looks like it plays like it. The world. I don't know if it's a gimmick and it's actually going to take place elsewhere and this is just part of the world or something, but like, I don't know. This doesn't look like a 6-year kind of thing. I understand COVID, and I know maybe they didn't start right after 2017, but I think they're always looking at what's next.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he did say, like, some of the ideas for it spun out of, like, DLC and stuff like that. And, like, we had so many ideas. Let's just make another one, so.
Yeah. So I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't know if the time... I'm not convinced the time they're taking is because they actually need more time to make the game.
Yeah.
I think they're like, you know what, there's a lot of big heavy hitters. I don't know, what's Nintendo releasing this year? There's
Pokemon is coming out this year. Gen 9.
Okay. I feel like there's a new Pokemon like every 10 months.
There was like 2 in.
We just had Diamond
Rapids.
Pearl. We just had Arceus.
Yeah.
And we just now. There's too many of these Pokemon. You know, they should have stopped at 150.
Well, this became a whole new video.
There's a lot of Pokemon.
But that's like Gen 9 is like the big holiday game, so maybe they also feel like we don't really need another one. But I don't know. Even then, I feel like they usually
Is
will
there
have.
a new Splatoon coming out this year?
Is there?
Isn't there?
Our producer says there is.
Okay, Metroid's coming at some point. Like,
Metroid? Oh, Prime 4.
I don't know. That might be coming out. I don't know.
That might never come. I think that's like a 2032 game.
So I was joking with the writing team. You know, we're always thinking of new daily debates at the website, like, and one of so it's like this is the news. And I was like, kind of angrily, like, disappointingly typed. I'm like, yeah, we should just make a troll daily debate and say, is Breath of the Wild 2 the last Zelda game that will release this decade? Like, I'm like thinking about it.
Oh man!
Like, if it comes out, let's say spring next year or summer, whatever, and like this time next year, we're like 2023. So that's a 6-year gap. And they're not gonna make a Breath of the Wild. I don't know. Maybe they do. But like, if they reinvent the wheel again, and it's like another 6, like, yeah, next Zelda game, 2030. Like, you know, I'm like wondering how many more Zelda games are gonna come out in my lifetime at this point. Like, am I gonna
2030? Just imagine what we'll be doing then.
Yeah. There'd be a Link Between Worlds HD and Breath of the Wild HD,
right?
4K.
Hyrule Warriors 6.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm with you. It's like disappointing, but like I said, I'm sort of like, I don't know. Maybe this makes me not a Zelda fan, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. There's a lot of video games out there. I'll play something else.
I don't play a lot of video games. So I just play Zelda. So it's like
You're like you need that hit again.
It makes me wonder, like they never go a full year, rarely with nothing. So maybe this is the year we finally get some ports of some of those games that we've always been talking about. You know, maybe that Wind Waker HD.
It's strange.
Maybe that Oracle of Ages.
The Wii U ones haven't been brought forward at this point.
I mean, maybe they do the Oracle Duo or something, or maybe they port the Switch, like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll get something, I think, this holiday to tie us over.
Yeah. We didn't even get like a, people speculated on all the Zelda 35 stuff that never came.
I think we got the Game & Watch.
The Game & Watch. It was pretty tight actually. Yeah. So.
But.
All right, well, so some disappointment here, but I guess stay posted. We'll let you know when it actually comes out.
Yeah,
we already got the title.
Twist in the Wind. Yeah, but they keep saying. I think E.J. Newman had said like they don't want to reveal, or I think it was Bill Trinan said this. They don't want to reveal the title because the title in of itself is indicative of what's happening in the game. So they view the title as a spoiler.
Well, they're going to have to tell us it before it comes out at some point.
I think they want to wait until they have footage that's related to the title.
That's the next evolution of, like, people are so, like, such babies, I think, a little bit about spoilers sometimes, where now people are going to be like, I think so. People are eventually going to be like, I can't believe Nintendo told us the title before I played the game.
Yeah. They should just call it Zelda 17.
That'd be a pretty like power move right there.
Yeah, not even a legend, just
Z17.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious style.
Yeah. Two Zelda.
He looked pretty good in that video, by the way. He was looking good, Enuma.
I saw this great meme where they showed like it talks about the hair, and it showed like the initial trailer of Breath of the Wild, and it showed Zelda's hair. She has the long, that, and then it showed the E3 trailer from last year with Link's hair being all like it, and then it showed the 2022 EG Enuma hair.
Yeah, hair has been a big theme with these, I guess.
Yeah, every trailer has new hair. Zelda, Link, now EG.
Leave a comment, EG, your favorite hairstyle. On a scale of 1 to 10, how mad you are about the game being delayed.
Oh, I thought you meant about EG Enuma's hairstyle.
Oh, yeah, rate his hair, rate our hairstyles. Thanks for watching.